All right. So I'm going to get into Top Gun Maverick. Saw it yesterday. Really excited about it. Let's get into it. To start off, I just wanted to say that I'm not the biggest Top Gun fan. In fact, when I was younger, I remember seeing it. I remember enjoying it. Probably around 10, 11, 12, around that age that I saw it. And then as I moved into my teen years and as a young adult, I kind of put it in that category of popular but dumb. And that was more me than the movie. That was a sort of snobby choice, I guess, because I revisited it again last year. And I watched it, and I thought this is as good as people say. And I had miscategorized the movie, and I had made a mistake, and became somewhat of a fan of Top Gun. I think it is a very good movie, and so therefore I was looking forward to Top Gun 2, and I went with a friend yesterday on its second weekend to go see the movie. This friend was a huge fan of Top Gun and had talked about it a lot when I was when we were first starting to get to know each other in high school. Much like a lot of people talked about it, which is one of the reasons why I thought it was overhyped. But I've changed my opinion on that, and moving forward, I was excited. So we go into the theater and we watch it, and it's fucking amazing. I can't believe how good this movie is. If you haven't seen it, you got to go see it. And like me, I'm guessing the people that have seen it want to go see it again. I want to see it multiple times in the theater because it's just that awesome. And in fact, now to get into the details of the movie and what happens in the movie, the earliest thing that happens is that Tom Cruise does a video message to the fans, to the theater, and thanking people for coming to the theater and saying how much he worked hard to get into theaters, given the times. And so that explains, I guess the almost 2-year delay for it. And it's wonderful that he did that. I don't necessarily need to see movies in theaters. There's certain movies you should see in theaters because of the sound and the visuals and mostly the crowd, experiencing something with a crowd. And this is one of those movies that you got to see in theaters for that reason. And I think it's wonderful that Tom Cruise did that and also fought to get Val Kilmer in the movie, because that was, I think, very important to the movie. Now, we go into the very beginning of the opening sequence, the title credits, and what I thought was a strange choice at first was using the title credits, well, the titles opening sequence from the original Top Gun with obviously the new credits for the cast of this film. And I was a little bit put off by it at first, but then the rest of the movie, it makes sense because they're not using modern aircraft. And I was expecting, modern aircraft carrier, modern aircraft, and just sort of a revisualization of this, of that original opening sequence, but with newer machinery, newer equipment. And that wasn't done in this movie. And I think it actually works better than if they had updated everything and they're all flying this, I guess, 5th generation aircraft. I'm not that familiar with aircraft, just a little bit. So I'm glad actually that they went with the F-18s instead of, I don't know, F-35s or whatever that they might have flown at this point in time. I like the story conceit that it has to be done a certain way, and that they're using the older equipment, and because it helps, I guess, Maverick sort of be more familiar and with the capabilities and that stuff, which makes sense to the story. So that opening sequence happens, and then we catch up with Maverick and what he's doing. And if you were to have a critique of the movie, maybe this opening bit might have gone on for a little too long. I don't necessarily think so, but I could see why someone would. So basically, Maverick has been testing this new fighter that is possibly going to be acquired by the military. And on this day, they're supposed to do a a Mach 9 test of it. But the general in charge has pushed it up to Mach 10, which is supposed to come, I don't know, sometime in the future. They're supposed to test Mach 10. So the general is coming, and so Maverick decides just to take this flight out before he gets there, because the general is probably trying to cancel this whole thing. And so he takes it out, he pushes the Mach 10, he pushes it past Mach 10, and it's Ed Harris is the general, obviously someone who was always at loggerheads with Maverick. And so because he started the test before the general got there, there's sort of a, he's going to get reprimanded. But it turns out his old friend Iceman has come and save the day again, but there's really only one choice now. He's got to be sent to Top Gun to help them with some mission, and that's really the only option that he has now left in the military. And so he heads back to the Top Gun school, and then he's in the old bar from from his time there in the original Top Gun, and he meets his old girlfriend, and played by Jennifer Connelly. And at this time, or when I was watching the trailers, I didn't really understand Jennifer Connelly's role. She wasn't in the originals, and I thought it might have been something that would have maybe made the movie not be as good as it could have been, just because you're introducing this new love interest, and is that needed? And I actually think it works really well, and that she's an old love interest, and that he is in this place in his life, and he's not he's not the original Maverick. He's now what he is now, and the mistakes that he's made, and he's trying to make up for those mistakes. And then, of course, that's how we get to the Miles Teller character, who plays the son of his friend who died in the original Top Gun. And there's these flashback sequences, more like these memories that flash in Maverick's mind, of the bar, of his friends, and of course them singing that song at the piano with his son sitting on the piano. And then, of course, in that bar, the son gets on the piano as Maverick has left the bar. He's kind of avoided him at this point, and he sees him playing the song for his friends, and you can tell that it really cuts at Maverick. And so basically their plot, the Miles Teller character and Maverick, is that the mother asked Maverick not to allow her son to enter the Navy, because she was afraid that he would die and didn't want to lose him like she had lost his father. And so Maverick did that for her, and she had since passed away. And it turns out that he doesn't want to tell him that, because he doesn't want him to resent his mother like he resents Maverick. And so Maverick is willing to take on that burden for him. And it's just poignant. It's just the plot itself is this idea of, how do you be a father to someone? You're not their actual father, but your best friend, you're supposed to take care of their family, help them when they pass on, and this person that you see as an extension of yourself, an extension of your friend, and you want to be there for them, and you want to be the father figure, but you can't replace your friend. And also you're trying to help them, and they resent you for it, and you can't tell them what you're doing, and you can't. He basically can't seek forgiveness because he can't admit to what he's done. And of course, this plays out through the movie, and it's really well set up. And when they get to the payoff at the end, that is where I got a little misty-eyed, and my friend also got a little misty-eyed, and it'll choke you up, just the way that these two interact at the end of the movie and how they resolve their issues. Now that's the B plot. The C plot is the love interest, Jennifer Connelly, and that is done really well too, the way that her story is interspliced within the film. But the main plot is this mission, and the idea is that there's a facility that's enriching uranium, and they have to destroy it. And it's in an area that is very difficult to get to, and has basically sentry cannons or missiles that will fire at them if they fly at a certain height, and they got to go through essentially a trench. As my friend pointed out, I guess it's similar to the trench run from Star Wars, except that they make their own ventilation shaft with a bomb. So they have to basically go through and go fast and go low and then go up and then down and basically do all these crazy maneuvers that they're not really capable of. And the whole point is that Maverick has to push them so that they're going to all basically become like Maverick. And all of these characters have their own way of, I guess, interacting with Maverick, and also they're the best of the best, but they all fly different, and they all have to try and push themselves to the limits to get to this point where they can complete this mission. Now, John Hamm plays sort of the military heavy, and he does it really well, and his goals, and the military's goals, is just to destroy the target. Maverick's goals is to destroy the target and get everyone home safely, and it doesn't seem like that's possible with this mission. And as it gets closer to when the mission is going to proceed forward, they kind of shut down any further training by Maverick, and they're going to go with what they've got. But then as they're in the classroom and they're looking at this screen that has been their computers have been tracking progress throughout the training, and can, the radar picks up the planes and shows you where they're going. And you can see that Maverick has taken an aircraft, and he's flying the entire mission, and he's actually doing it in less time than it needs to be done. And everybody in this classroom, including John Hamm's character, can see that the mission is possible and they can come home safely, and Maverick has done it in less time. And so it really it impresses everybody, and it's one of those like fuck yeah moments. And so now Maverick is actually flying this mission. He's going to take point on this mission, and there's going to be 4 other aircraft coming behind him. I believe it's 4 other aircraft. And so he basically, then they go to the actual mission, to the actual place that they're going. And throughout this movie, they've been really cagey about telling us where this facility is, who owns this facility. Basically, we don't know what country they're invading. And it's, I guess it's done for a reason, because, you don't necessarily want to piss anybody off. So I guess if you don't want to piss anybody off and you want to invade a country in a movie, then I guess you choose Canada, because the geography of this actual mission, when they go through it, I'm like, are they flying into BC and destroying a facility there? I'm like, well, I don't know. Good for them. I'm also tired of us Canadians enriching that uranium and destabilizing the global politics, and we really had it coming. So I'm glad that Maverick invaded Canada. And then the mission happens, and it's ups and downs, and what's going to happen, and who's going to save who, and then then at the very end, it's all might be lost, and then someone who was on the sidelines comes in and has their moment to save the day. And of course, as I mentioned, Miles Teller's character in Maverick having this quasi father and son talk, and it's just amazing. And I can't say any more complimentary things about this movie. It's just wonderful. It's amazing. It's heartfelt, and it has the oomph of the original Top Gun. And if you've gotten through this whole review, and you probably watched the movie as well, and you know that as well, and you really want to experience it again, and I encourage you, go back out, see it again. That's what I'm going to do. If you watch this and you weren't concerned about learning things about the movie before you went and saw it, then I hope this really excited you. I hope you're going to go see it, because it's amazing. So go out and see it. And thanks for watching this video. Go check out some more of my videos.